Hey, Charles, how was your holiday, my friend, in those sunny blue skies behind you?
Yes, it was good, and it is beautiful here in Kentucky today. So there you have it.
Beautiful in Kentucky today. Well, yesterday we had an okay day. A couple of nice exactas over at Parks. Got upset in the one race there where the two heavy favorites didn't show up. But today we're going to take our talents to Tampa Bay Downs. We're a little bit late today, thanks to some allergies on my behalf. Sorry about that, folks. But we'll get cracking right away, Charles, starting in race number one at Tampa Bay Downs. What are the conditions here?
Well, here it's Tampa Bay. It's going to be 6 furlongs, claiming price of 25,000. Non-winners of 2 life. The purse is 21.5, and this is for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
Yeah, and just to point out, I think what the first 4 or 5 races, Charles, are all 6 furlongs.
Yes.
So keep an eye on the opener there. But what we know so far about the profile of a winner at a 6 furlong race is early speed does really good. 30% of the time it gets to the lead, keeps the lead, and never gives it up. Big time rail bonus for Bold Blue. I know a lot of folks in Michigan are hoping Blue is bold on, I don't know, this weekend. I don't remember what day they're playing. January 1st. 2 through 7, they underperform. 8 and out gets a bonus as well. Charles, we do 1,000 simulations using early speed, speed figures to calculate when we figure our fair odds. We want a number here that's lower than post-time odds. Also, based upon those simulations, what percent of the time they run a speed number above par. The average winning speed figure for this condition here is 82. See that over here as I press 18 different buttons and none of them are the right one. Along with that, we do some early pace to get a sense of who has the best chance to have the lead. We already mentioned speed kills. And then based upon that speed, who's likely to get a trip that mirrors some of their winning performances. Charles, what do you see in the data?
Well, there's plenty of speed in this race, it looks like, especially for, it's a 6 furlong. So we have the 3 probably has the best chance, but at 25%, but the 4 might have a say in it. Possibly even the 2 or even the 1. Just depends how these gates open, but I think there's plenty of speed in here.
Plenty of early pace for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Simulation odds, the 3, slightly over 2 to 1. We have 5 to 1 morning line, and that's what we have for an overlay.
Yeah, it's the only horse with a par plus 27.5% of the time. Its speed figure, according to our simulations, will top the par that we saw. And then you got quite a few of them that should be pretty comfortable in this setup today. In the first race, Charles, taking a look at the race shape, you got 3 that want to be on the front, 3 that want to be in the back. If speed is the way to go at Tampa Bay, well, then you might want 1, the 2, or the 6. According to the early pace numbers, the 6 horse is the fastest of those 3, although the 1 and the 2 aren't much lower, so the 6 might have to hustle to clear. Late speed, if they go too fast early on, Vegas Playboy. That's Charles in his youth right there, my friends. He's like, yes, indeed.
Yes.
Silence is consent, as they say.
That's right.
A 7-point advantage over the next closest late pace horse. So if that 5 is at all close, does look like he might trail the pack based upon early speed. And then our total pace looks like Silver Style, Vegas Playboy, pretty much the entire race within 8 points. That means to me, from a pace setup, race 1 is wide open. Charles, how did you grade him out?
Well, I have the 1 as my top choice. It won last time out. Second start after a layoff. Trainer gets 25% with that angle. And you know what? This could be the one that you could claim too, Rich. Open up that wallet.
I don't have your pocketbook, Charles.
I don't know. You got some moths in there. Come on, you can do it. Race number 4 is my second choice. This horse drops in class. Third start after a layoff. Trainer gets 29% with that angle. Does have some of that speed that we were talking about. Hot jockey in the last 7 days. The 5 is my third choice. Hot jockey trainer combo. This one I believe will be closing at the end. I think a lot of speed here. It might be setting it up for this horse maybe. 1 last time out. And the 3, tactical speed. Again, another one that could do whatever, go to the front, whatever. Back on dirt, drops in class today, but I still kind of lean towards the 1 a little bit.
Yeah, I decided to go with the price on top there, Charles, with the 5 horse. Right now, the 5 horses odds are 5 to 1, so it got cut in half from that morning line there. Looking at that 5-horse Charles as they make their way to the gate. Interesting that rider Sammy Camacho was going to ride the 7, which would have been one of the favorites in here, but he rode this one instead. He's the top jock down there right now. Bold Blue, that 1-horse Charles, my second choice, gets that hot rail. Doves has some early speed, should contend early, as we saw in the simulations, as well as the pace setup. Starry Night, something like that. The 3-horse is going to take a pretty big drop in class here, Charles, and the Tampa Bay Downs workouts are pretty quick. Finally, Silver Style, that 4-horse drops in class in the 3rd start after layoff. Charles's favorite handicapping angle, and on top of that, can reach back to having the best or the most back class. I'm going to do a try 1-3-5 over the 1-5 over the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So since I only left out the 6, folks, back up the truck because that's going to be your winner.
And it does have speed, so never know.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen that happen.
You just see today how many claiming races there are today. I don't think there's one allowance race, right? I think
I don't remember. I think there was one. I don't remember exactly, but while we wait for the horses to make their way into the gates there, Charles, in race number 1, as always, we have some free picks over there at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. We sure hope you played our Santa Anita picks yesterday. You did pretty good, and there had a couple nice winners. But Penn National is the free track today. You can get a link to the description link in the description down below. Augie's Girl, number 3, going to be a best bet at 2-1 to start the night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Keep an eye on that, folks. Again, you can catch that down in the link below. Always some free picks over there at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. You can also head over to the mothership, horseracingtoday.net. While you're there, kindly support the show by clicking on this link right here. For HRT gear, you can get yourself a See You in the Winner Circle t-shirt. Looks great. No question about that. So go ahead and do that on the horseracingtoday.net. You're going to want to bookmark that because in 2023 or 4, we're going to add a lot of content to horseracingtoday.net. It's going to be the horse players, what would you call it? Central point of information.
Yes.
All right. So it looks like they're about to get into the gates for the first race. Again, we think the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4, those 4 should really compete early on. The 4-horse right now is your favorite, Silver Style. It is the 8-5 choice. A little bit of an underlay, if you will, according to our simulation odds. The 3-horse is 7-1. We have it at 5-2. So that one there is your value bet, Charles, as the gates open for the first race. And looks like everybody is kind of competing for the lead, although that 6-horse, the one I said, just back your truck up to, my man. That's the one that's cleared everybody and has gotten the lead, although the 2 is keeping his nose inside the tail there to make sure that the horse can't clear. 3-horse, the jockey's really fighting with that one, holding that horse back big time, Charles.
Mm-hmm.
You got the 1 coming up on the rail. The 4-2, it's outside. The jockey standing straight up on the favorite there, but it sure does look like the 3-horse wants to go the most. The jockey just decided to finally let that horse out. 2 horses on the march, 2. It's on the lead right now. 3 horses found its way up front. Good thing you didn't back up your mortgage onto that 6-horse because it itself is backing up, Charles. But unfortunately, neither one of us have the 2-horse. That one's kind of getting clear there, my friend. John J. Going to run away as your winner, it looks like, in the opener, Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody here can come up at the end, but no.
No, they won't catch this horse.
John J. pulling away to start the day. Going to gear down, find his way by probably 5 lengths over the 4, the 5, and the 3. So the 2-horse in there, John J. Charles, got close to the lead, stayed on the lead, had a pretty solid C-zone score in there. Let's see what else is going on with the 2. He was in the 4th in there. Again, pretty competitive. One of the early speed types. So, he ran second, right about where we thought it should be according to the early space, and just stayed there. The 6 did get the lead, so that early, that played out pretty much the way the early speed said it would play out, Charles, except nobody came on at the end.
No one came on at the end. Well, because that horse made a great move going around the turn, so opened up that.
Yeah, kind of keep that in mind, I guess, right, Charles, that the speed got up to the front and people didn't close because in race number 2, they're going to do the same exact thing. They're going to do 6 furlongs.
Yeah, 6 furlongs. This one's optional claiming. 12.5 purse is $24,000. This is for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never started, for a claiming price of $8,000 or less in the year 22 or the 2023, or an optional claiming price of $12,500.
And as we mentioned, and as we saw, speed does do pretty good at Tampa Bay Downs in the 6 furlong affairs. That one didn't go wire to wire, but normally 30% of the time they do. Pretty big rail bonus. Rebel Empire maybe can take advantage of it in this race, although didn't see the one do it in the last one. 2 through 7 underperform, 8 and out, get a little bit of a bonus. Charles, be fast on the inside, be fast on the outside, and all the fast is on the inside.
All that's on the inside. Yeah, between the 1 and the 2. The one's, 43% chance of, or actually 44, to get the lead at the quarter pole. Probably most likely to be true, but boy, that 2 is definitely going to be pushing that horse. But I think the 1 will get the lead. When it comes to simulation odds, do we have anybody? Oh, okay. There we got the 5 at basically what's that? Close to 1 to 5, 2 to 5. And you got 2 to 1 morning lines. That's not a bad overlay.
No, not bad at all. Flipping Fish does, according to our estimates, have a 100% chance to run over par. I don't know there's a 100% chance for anything, but should compete with that 86 speed figure there, Charles. Also see that it has the second best C-zone score, the 2-horse, Lord Barrier, the one that should compete for the lead, should be really comfortable with its position today, at least according to our calculations on the speed of this race. You also see here, Charles, that most of this field wants to be middle back. 6 furlongs favor speed. Speed should get its way in this one too, Charles. Looks like there are 3 horses that want to get out to the front. The 1, the 2, and the 6, the 2-horse. Lord Barrier might get the best trip of the bunch, being a pilot, co-pilot type. So sits behind these 2, lets them go. And let's see if it has the late speed to close out. No, it looks like Flipping Fish, the PC type. So these are versatile ones. They're not necessarily closers. They can close if necessary. They can pressure, but sometimes they have the ability to get forward as well. As far as, and you can see the 4 and the 5, they have a tremendous late speed advantage over the rest of the field. So those closers might do something we didn't see in the first race, make up ground in the end. Flipping Fish, 7 points better than the next closest horse in terms of total pace. So if that's correct, Flipping Fish should win by about a length, maybe a little bit more, Charles. We both think it will win.
Yeah, I mean, I think this race is setting up for a horse that sits probably about 3rd or 4th, but very close to the pace. This horse has got a little bit more speed than even probably these numbers actually show up here, percent-wise, to get the lead at the quarter pole. The 5 won last time out. Like I said, has that tactical speed. You got the trainer that gets 24% overall all year. So this horse is definitely going to be in the mix. The 4 is my second choice. Ran second last time out. Does have some tactical speed. Also itself could sit there around that same spot as the 5. Second start after a layoff. Trainer gets 11% with that angle. Then I have the 1, who I think would have the lead least at the quarter pole. The rail gets that 22%, as we both know that the rail's hot there. Well bet last time. And then the 2 ran 3rd last time. Another one that kind of has that a lot more speed. Could sit there 2nd or so. Well bet last time. So definitely has to be in the mix. But I'm going to start a pick 4 here today. On my top 2 picks in the first leg. Same thing with the 2nd and the 3rd leg. And then I'm going my top 4 picks in the final 4th leg. I'm going for the fences today. So you'll see that.
I'm going to start off in race number 2 with the Flipping Fish 2. I wonder how they came up with that name, Charles. It did run a little bit quicker fractions last out. The interesting thing to me is that the jockey switch, they downgraded here, which kind of interesting on a horse that looks like it can win. Lord Barrier, that 2-horse, basically an all or nothing type at Tampa Bay Downs, should get a perfect trip to perhaps hit the all button again. 11 races, 5 wins, and a 3rd. Rebel Empire, that 1 horse. You can't pass on a horse that's fast on the rail. And that's what we have here with Rebel Empire. We saw that here in our simulations. And then finally, number 4, Sam Constantino, 2nd, 3rd, 4th choice for me. Horse is making its 2nd start after a layoff. Resume is kind of mixed on that. Sometimes it improves. Sometimes it repeats. Sometimes it regresses. But a Tampa Bay Downs in the money, 9 out of 11, spreading 3 wins, 3 seconds, and 3/3 across the board there. What's the key here for this horse, Charles? Loves itself a fast track. That's what we have today. In the money, 10 out of 12. Pick 4 for me. I'm going to go a little bit deeper. The 1, 2, 5 with the 2, 5, 6, and 8. 1, 8, and then 6, 7, and 10 on the back end. Hoping to catch some prices in there like you as well. Scary Creations.
You didn't put the 4 anywhere on your pick. Oh, that's your pick 4. I'm sorry. I was thinking it was a trifecta. Oh, I was thinking it was a trifecta. I'm like, oh, you don't have a 4 in there.
And then most likely this is a 5-1 exacta. So you like the Flipping Fish and Rebel Empire. But I'm going to go play Princely God, the 6 horse at 12-1. And folks, mark that one down because Scary tends to be right on target. So keep an eye on Princely God. And Lord knows I'm not a big fan of Scary Creations coming in and wrecking our pick 4s, Charles. As he usually does. All right. Race number 3. We can move away from getting our pick 4 wrecked by Scary, but we're not getting away from 6 furlongs, Charles.
No, we're not. 6 furlongs, claiming price $10,000. Purse is $23,000. The fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, 6 furlongs. Simple.
Yeah, again, speed does well at 6 furlongs. You get a little bit of an inside and outside bias, Charles. So again, race 3, we're looking for speed, particularly on the inside or the outside. And guess what? They're going to come through in that regard.
Yeah, we have is the 2 itself, 37%, and the 8 at 39%. They're both gonna be out there gunning it. I see the 8 slightly getting it, just probably like the numbers are saying. But it's gonna be interesting who gets the lead, who's gonna relax in second, hopefully relax. Simulation odds. We have, the 5 a little bit, just slightly under even money. We have slightly over 1.5 to 1 at the morning line. And then the 8, we have it slightly over even money, but we have a 4.5 morning line. So that's very interesting. It should be a nice overlay.
Yeah, looking at the C zone, it could be a test for all these horses because none of them score over 50%. So pace might be an issue for the entire field. But looking at par plus, though, you got the 5, the 6, and the 8, maybe a 5, 6, 8 exacta trifecta box could work out today. Our race pace setup, a pretty balanced race. 3 on the outside, 3 up front, 3 in the back, 2 in the middle. Our Sesame Street horses in here. The 2 and the 8. Let's see if they can get a good trip early on. Does look like Ideal Breeze. Wait a second. Liking It Twisted. I mean, they're all pretty quick in here. In fact, all of them are pretty fast within maybe a misstep of each other. So could be a pretty contentious early opening quarter mile, Charles. That means speed might give way to horses at the end. Solaire, the 5 horse, being the best of the closers and really based upon its early pace, not all that far off the leaders. That gives the horse a shot as the second best in terms of total pace. But again, looking at the field here, Charles, you got, what is that? 5 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
5 of them that are all within a couple of points of each other. So again, a race where you can make a case for quite a few. Make the case for copying me exactly.
No, I think I've had my numbers in the system before you, so we know. The 8 is my top choice. I do believe this is, even if he doesn't get the lead, I think he has, or she has the talent to sit second and relax a little bit. This horse drops in class today. There is one negative to this horse, and it's been away for 4 months, and they're only showing a couple of works, even though those works were okay. I mean, number-wise, but I would have loved to see at least 2 more works at least. But that's the only negative to this horse. The 5 is my second choice here. This horse ran second last time. This one definitely does have tactical speed. And look at what this horse done lifetime. 13 for 7 in the money. Here's the one you want to claim because they first 8, they've never even tried it on turf either. So why not? This would be a claim horse. People should be looking at this, especially for the future.
And if they want to claim it, they can call you, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way. I mean, this horse has a lot of potential to move up. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 is definitely, like we said, has speed. It could be on the front or it could be sitting second, I think, either way. Second start after a layoff totally fits with this group, so you got to throw that horse in. And then the 6 is my final choice. Drops in class. Trainer gets 22% when he rests them up 90 plus days. Another one that can sit pretty close to the pace. Like the chart said, you got 5 horses, and I think we have 4 of them right there. So, but it is going to be tight with that 8 up front. But let's see.
And Christopher D'Souza coming in race 3 with the 4 horse to win in place, and the 2 and 7 behind it for the exact in the trifecta. So True Atka, another one blowing up our picks there, Mr. Charles.
Mm-hmm.
I have the 8 women again. We have the same exact order. Ideal Breeze. This one should be on the pace today. I feel like it has a good shot to be first, second, right in that perfect position. Really strong par plus. I mean, just everything across the board here. Green. Seen that win way too many times.
Mm-hmm.
Soler did run the top last race. Speed figure in there, Charles, in its first race at Tampa Bay Downs. Going to get a little bit of a weight break to day 2. The 2 horse, Liking It Twisted, going to be fast. His robust workouts between races and loves the distance. In the money, 7 out of 9. 3 wins, a second, and 3 thirds. So either put him first or third. I put him third. And then finally, that 6 horse coming in from Asanobia Downs, or Asanobia, however they pronounce it up there. Really not sure how that transition is going to work, Charles, but it does look like the horse likes the track. Has a November 26th workout at Tampa Bay Downs, 4 furlongs, 47 and 4. That was the 3rd fastest of 114, Charles. And, no matter what you think about workouts, if it's the 3rd fastest of 114, that's a pretty good chunk to compare it against. I'm going to put that 6 horse in my exact key box. I know it's my 4th pick, but probably going to be the longest odds. And if that workout translates to the track, could actually get a decent exacta out of that one. An interesting thing yesterday, too, I did this exacta box key thing, and the horse that I put in as the key won both of them. So we'll see if we can keep that streak alive today. You are all in on Ideal Breeze, the 8 horse. He should either be on the lead or just right off it. Stalk and Pounce 9-2. Seems like a Christmas gift. Well, I think Scary, based upon the simulation odds being more closer to 1, 3-2. I have a good sense that horse won't go off at 9-2. What do you think, Charles?
I agree with you. I think it's going to go closer to the odds that we actually have on their simulation odds.
You think it's going to come down to 3-2, under 2-1?
Yeah, I think about. I mean, it might be closer to even money. Yeah, I think it might be even money.
All right. Well, let's see what happens there. Race number 4, Charles, as we work our way through this 9-race card. Again, nothing really changes from the first 3.
Yeah, let's repeat. Rinse and repeat. 6 furlongs, claiming price 20. This is for 3-year-olds and upwards. I mean, this is pretty simple today.
And it's pretty simple. 6 furlongs, speed on the inside, speed on the outside. Got a good shot to win, at least so far at Tampa Bay Downs. So in race number 4, Charles, well, a lot of the speeds on the outside, none on the inside here.
Yeah, that 5. Yeah, 59% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole. Yeah, probably most likely, but, there's a couple of the horses that are kind of a little scary speed, and I think the 8's one of them. So look out for the 8 a little bit. I think that 8's a little bit faster than even those numbers show. Simulation odds. What do we have here? We have the 2 at slightly.
My man Vito.
Yeah.
He's on the bench now, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was going to say they benched him. Slightly under 5-1. We have 15-1 morning line. And the 7, we have 6-1 and 8-1 morning line. And look at that 8, just slightly under even money. We have 2-1 morning line.
Yeah, and the 8 also scoring highest on par plus. So 33% chance for Buffalo Hello, at least according to our simulations, to hit a speed figure above 87, which is the average winning speed figure at the distance and conditions. Also has the strongest C-zone score in there, Charles. I think there's no chance in hell Buffalo Hello goes off at 2-1. If it does, we'll take it. It'll be a gift as well. In race number 4, that 8 horse, that's showing up as is a pressure closer type, Charles, but on the early speed, going to be right in that mix. You got 4 of them that are going to go pretty quick. The 5 horse is probably the one that's most lead dependent, so I would expect the 5 to get to the lead. and then some group of the others to just kind of settle in behind there, trying to get position and then run comfortable fractions. On the way home, it looks like Buffalo Hello has the most late speed there, Charles, tied with Machismo. So, you can't pass what you can't catch, Charles. Looking at the top total pace horse, we got a 6-point gap between Buffalo Hello and Golden One. All of these in here are pretty tightly mixed. So it looks like you put the 8 on top of Kiat over to 2, 5, 3, and 7. Maybe you got yourself a nice exacta, nice trifecta in there if you can get some nice odds, Charles. We both think the 8 is the one to beat.
Yeah, I do. I actually think this is going to be your leader. I personally do. This horse did run even last time out. It does drop in class, as we already mentioned. And here's another one. You should open up your wallet, let the moths fly away, break out the money, and claim this horse. This is another one you put on your books that they haven't run on turf yet. And they have done it on distance. He has run distance, and you know what? He did well. So this horse is another one that could only improve if you claim this horse. The one is my second choice here. Drops in class today. Got a hot jockey last 7. Kind of could sit there second or third, possibly. Trainer gets 16% with 46 plus days rest. So you got a nice fresh horse. The 6, first thing you got to do is toss out that last race. Second start after a layoff. The horse does have some tactical speed to sit pretty close. And then the 4, the blinkers come off today. This is the first time gelding. Trainer gets 14% with 90 plus days of rest. And if you look at that workout pattern, very, very solid. I think it's like every 5 or 6 days that the horse works out. Very good. So it puts him in contention. But yeah, I think it's going to be tough for them to catch that 8. But there's a couple that I would like for the underneath. And like I said, the 164, I think would be one of them.
And Scary Creations agrees with you on that 6 horse. Maddie's Dream. Some of his Gulfstream races make him a major player. 12-1, and then Let's Go, but no emphasis on the Let's Go for Scary. So I would have liked to seen an exclamation point or 2, or at least all caps. It would have given me a little more confidence from Scary Creation there. Charles, if you haven't done so yet, kindly hit the subscribe button while you're following us on YouTube. If you're watching us on Twitter, kindly retweet what we're doing there. If you're on Facebook, give us a like. Same thing on YouTube. We appreciate that. It helps us with the algorithms. Our goal for 2024 is to get to 10,000 subscribers. So share our content. We would greatly appreciate that with all your horse player friends. I have the 8 horse in there too, Charles, as my top choice. Buffalo. This is a Gulfstream shipper too with the top last race speed figure. Gonna drop in class. This guy loves the distance, Charles. Ran it 6 times, won 4 of them, nothing else. So all or nothing out of Buffalo Hello. Figure ready. We agree on the top 2 again. Going to drop in class after being better across the board. All of its pace numbers last out. On that smoking hot rail, runs well off the bench, and has a decent workout getting prepped. That's a fact, Jack. From what movie is that from, Charles? Can you
Stripes.
Yes, indeed. If any of you touch my stuff, I'm going to kill you.
I want to kill you.
Yeah, I'm going to kill you. This one also has some plenty early speed there. Trio of decent workouts getting prepared for its first race since September the 30th. And finally, Machismo. This is our good friend Tom, who I do Foreign Fridays with. Not quite sure what we'll do this Friday. Is it going to win? Nah. But finishing the money? Yeah, probably. 6 races at Tampa Bay Downs. Hasn't won any of them yet, but has 3 seconds and 3/3. If my math is correct, that's 100% in the money. And taking a big drop in class for Machismo. I think the 1 or the 8 wins, Charles. 1, 5, 8 in the place position for me. The 1, 3, 5, 7, and 8. Probably going to regret not having that 6 horse in the mix.
Yeah, and you look at me, like I said, I'm going for the fences today. I'm going to end the year off. I mean, I'm going to send it to the bleachers. Oh, look at this, pick 6. I'm taking my top 3 picks in this first leg. Going 5 deep in the second leg. Going my top 2 in the third. Then I got a single in there. Got to have a single.
Got to have a single.
And then the 5th leg, I got my top 3. And then I'm finishing off with my top 4 picks in the 6th and final leg.
Well, good luck with that pick 6. We don't usually do those, so I hope.
I know I don't. I mean, I have never done one on the show yet, so here you go.
No, let's bring that one home then, Charles. Right, beginner's
Right.
luck. I think we're finally going to get away from 6 furlongs. Indeed, we are, and we're also going to get off the dirt and head on to the grass.
Yes, we're going to do a mile on the turf. Option claiming the 32,000. Purse is 33,000. Look at this. This is for 2-year-olds, which have not started for a claiming price of 32,000 or less, or optional claiming price of 32,000. Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, sometimes I think so.
Yeah, pretty much.
30. I guess the person who writes the conditions must have come from Philadelphia Park or Parks. So you can see the 1, the 2, they're in for a price. Is anybody not in for a price? Yeah, the 4 horse. So if you're using the Brisnet sheet, that's how you know who is in for claim and who's not. So if you want to spend Charles's money, go ahead. In race number 5, as you take a look at the profile of a 1-mile winner on the grass outside of Tampa Bay. Stalkers do pretty well. Only 1 horse so far has gone wire to wire, so getting on the lead might not be the best place to be. A little bit of a rail bonus, so Real Sensation might be able to capitalize on that. 2 and 3, a little bit of a discount, Charles. 4 through 7, those guys get a little bit of a bonus, and then 8 and out, again, a discount. So those guys could find the treading a little bit more difficult. Charles, again, speed might not be the place to be, so maybe you want to write off the fiddly cat, whatever that says.
Yeah, maybe 64% chance of having the lead at the quarter pole. But like you said, I mean, lead's probably not the key thing here in this race. The 7 might keep that horse honest, so that might be the downfall of the 5.
Mm-hmm.
Simulation odds, we have the 1 slightly under 3 to 1. We have 4 to 1 morning line. And then we have, look at this, all the way down. Okay, the 5 is 12 to 1 and 15 to 1 morning line. And then the big one.
The big guy.
3 to 1 and 20 to 1 morning line. And then the 10, 2 to 1, slightly over 2 to 1. And we have 5 to 1 morning line on that one.
Mm-hmm. And looks like that, along with that big overlay, look at that. Good chance for the Honeyman to get a speed figure above the average speed figure for the winner at the condition. And then look at that strong C-zone too. So maybe might be one there that you want to kind of hide in your picks for a bigger exacta or trifecta payout. Who knows? Maybe even brings home the top prize. The pace race shape for this one. Look at that, Charles. Only 2 want to be forwardly placed. I guess, everybody there knows the bias. You don't really want front runners, but the limited competition, the 5 or the 10, if they're much quicker than everybody else, could have a shot to actually steal this one, make it 2 that go wire to wire. And the 5 horse has a 1-length lead over the rest of the field. Not a whole lot to clear in there. So I'd expect the 5 to get to the front there, Charles. 10 horse might find itself wanting a little bit. Late speed, where the closers do well. There's that 9 horse, Charles, that big overlay. The Honeyman going to have the best late legs late, but not a whole lot better than a few others in there. Our top total pace horse is Lord Knows, followed by Uncle Kenny, and then the 5 horse. But again, coming down to here, almost all of them, it looks like, have some shot. All but the 3 are within 10 points of the top figure. It means a misstep, a block, some kind of poor trip, getting off to a slow start. Could be the difference between the 2 horse winning or the 6 horse winning. Charles, looks like a pretty open race, but we agreed on the first 3 just in a little different order.
Yeah, man, how I kind of see this race going. Because if you look at these 2-year-olds, they're kind of all over the place. The 9, we'll first talk about the 9 real quick. It does have a lot of talent, but this horse is moving up more than 1 level. It's like 2 or 3 levels. So that's the big question on the 9, I think. But I like the 10 in this race. This horse does drop in class. Tactical speed, I think this one's going to sit real close. The trainer gets 16% with 2-year-olds. And, hey, if you want to claim a young one, this might be the one. I mean, it's still got a lot of potential on this horse. So this might be the claim for a 2-year-old. The 6 is my second choice. 1 last time out, second start after a layoff. Trainer gets 13% with that angle. With that being said, the horse does move up in class, but hey, when you win, you should be moving up. So let's see how that does. The 7, another horse that won last time out. Trainer gets 29% first after the claim. Well bet last time. Horse makes it interesting, and I think personally. Then I like the 8 as my final choice. Just slightly the edge over the 9 personally. Drops in class. Second start after a layoff. Trainer gets 17%. Totally fits with this group. But I think the top 2 choices are really going to be tough to beat.
Scary Creation is going to go with the 2 horse here. Tap the Sky, 15-1, and Antonio Gallardo right in that one. If you ever listen to Antonio Gallardo talk, my man should be on radio, not on horses. See right here. Lord knows probably wins. I mean, he won by 6 first race on Grand. Shocked if this one isn't the big favorite. Exact the box with the 2. Gallardo, why not? And then, Rob, which one are you talking about as your best bet of the day? Let us know. And if it's a good pick by me, they're all good picks. Sometimes they just don't do what they're supposed to. I have the 6 horse, Lord knows, just destroyed a field of 9, as Scary mentioned, on the grass. First time out. A couple of workouts to keep that saw sharp sense. Uncle Kenny, the 10, going to take a big drop in class here. Better fractions last out. Charles should run a similar race in the second race up after holding its speed longer than usual last out. Deep Strike, the 7 horse, probably been facing the toughest group of horses in this field. Does have a pretty solid turf pedigree, and the top jock, Sammy Camacho, on that one. And then finally, the Honeyman. I'm going to take the bite on that Lone Sim Plus horse in there. The big overlay, strong C-zone, Charles. And if it hits, going to pay a nice price for us as well. Looks like race 2, Charles. They're about to find their way to the gates there. So no sense in starting off on race number 6. Let's take a look at some of the odds. Flipping Fish, Charles, is a value play. I know it's 2-1, just like the morning line odds, but our simulation odds are much, much lower than that. So 2-1. I know people don't like to play favorites, but it's really about finding value, as some people say, more so than it is odds. Well, you got to find value in the odds. Next on the board is the 2 horse, Lord Barrier. That's that all or nothing horse, Charles. 4-1, 9-2 are sim odds because the 2 gobbled them all up, right? Winning almost all of the simulation races there. The 1 horse at 5-2, excuse me, that's your second choice in there, Rebel Empire. And I know Scary said that he thought that it's a very likely 5-1 exact in here, but he took a little bit of a different shot with that 6 horse. Princely God at 24-1. So you're getting a little bit of an overlay there too, Charles, from the morning line odds. And then let's see, are they starting to find their way into the gates? It looks like they are. So again, tonight, if you'd like, if you're going to bet Penn National, kindly use the link in the description below to head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet to get those picks for free. Augie's Girl might get you off to a good start as a best bet to win at 2-1, the 3 horse there. So keep that in mind tonight at approximately 6 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully, a lot of you are in your fantasy football finals. I know that having Christian McCaffrey for me was a big thing for the entire year. I'm in the finals, and hopefully I can win that one.
I had the rest of the Niner teams, it seemed like. I didn't have McCaffrey, though.
Yes, and this past weekend must have been a rough one for you.
It very was, very much. That's it. It knocked me out of the championship.
All right, let's see what's going to go on here. We got the 4 horse about to go in. The 5 horse is next up in line. Then the 6 and 7. If you haven't done so too, if you look around on our Horse Racing Radar TV, we actually have some pretty cool little shorts up there with the starting gate crew at Tampa Bay Down, so you can get to know those guys down there. They're actually pretty funny, a couple of them. All right, Charles, all of the 7 horses are in the gate. They're about to get started for race number 2. The gates are open, and off they go. The only horse that didn't really get involved early on was that 4 horse. The 1 horse has gone to the lead, as we thought it might, Rebel Empire. The 5 horse, the one we thought might close, is in the mid position right there. So he's probably a lot closer to the front than maybe the front runners wanted. The one that is on the lead with the 6, they're about 2 lengths clear of the 2 horse. The 4 horse in there, Charles, found its way into 4th. 2 horses got a good hold on his guy right there. The 5 horse might not win there, Charles, because the jockey's asking a little bit of him early on. 4 horses moving pretty aggressively on the rail. There goes the 5 horse right now. He's going to have to, he's kind of,
Between the 4 and the 5.
Wow, he really split that pretty nicely, Charles.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. That was some courageous riding right there, my friend. Down the stretch they come. The 4 horse is on the lead. Looks like the 5 horse is going to creep up along, and that 1 horse is coming back on the rail, Charles. I don't think anybody's catching that 4, my friend.
No.
So you're alive on your pick 4. Sam Constantino is your winner. I am out. It's going to go 4, 5, 2, 1, 7. 4, 5, 2, 1, 7. Charles with the superfecta. I had it as well. I downgraded the 4. Should jump off a bridge. All right, Charles. So I think we're on race number 6 now, right?
Let me see what we got here. Yeah, we're on number 6. Yes.
Race number 6.
Okay.
Let me pull up race 6 on the screen real quick. There we go.
This one is 7 furlongs. Another different race here. Claiming price of $10,000. This is for 3-year-olds and upward.
I hate losing the opening leg of pick 4s, Charles. It's to me, I either lose the first one or the last one, and I hit the ones in the middle. So play the double in between there, folks. Maybe even the pick 3. 7 furlongs in there, Charles. You're looking at a tactical speed being a solid place to be. 18% go wire to wire. There is an inside 3 bonus, 4 and out. Get a little bit of discounted. So if you wear the 1, the 2, or the 3, and you have some speed, you got a shot. But it looks like one of them has a lot more speed than the rest.
Yeah, we got that 5 at 69% chance of going to have that lead at the quarter pole. The 7 might have a say in that a little bit, but I think the 5 is going to have that lead personally. When it comes to simulation odds, we have the 1 slightly over even money. We have 2.5 to 1 morning line. Then we have the 5. It's just slightly under 2 to 1, and we have morning line of 4 to 1. So that's another nice overlay.
Yeah, 3 of them with good par plus scores in here, Charles. And then you have the 4, the 6, and the 7 look like they really might find the pace to be kind of comfortable relative to the rest of the field. You got 4 that want to be forwardly placed, 4 that want to be in the back. Typically favor speed, Charles. Let's see if indeed that's how it shows up on here today. Awesome, brother Bob. What's that? Big Bucks a lot. So the 5 horse in here, Charles.
Bucks a lot,
yeah, Big Bucks a lot. That's you. This is actually a left arrow horse on that 5. One that typically does its best work closing. Push its way forward today, Charles, with that late speed in there. Again, that one has the top late speed, so it might be difficult to pass what you can't catch in this case, Charles. Awesome brother Bill does have a 10-point total pace advantage over the rest of the field. Anytime you hit double digits, those horses tend to finish in the money at a high degree. A lot of them win, Charles. You don't think it'll win. You think that'll go to Big Bucks a lot. So you pick the horse after your namesake.
That's right. Yeah, I do like the 7 on top here. The horse won last time out. I think this horse does have that tactical speed to sit there second, and it was well bet last time. So I think this horse is going to be right in the thick of things. But the big question is, can he pass the 5? 5 is the big question here. Can this 5 go wire to wire? I don't know. Drops in class, second start after a layoff, totally fits with this group. That's why in my pick 4, I did these 2 horses, and even on my pick 6, I have just these 2 horses. I think it's a 2-horse race. The 1 is my 3rd choice here. Ran even last time, has some tactical speed as we saw. Fits with this group. The 8 ran even the last 2 times. Another one that has some tactical speed and totally fits with this group. But I still think, like I said, the first 2 my picks on my pick 4 here, and then I'm going my top 2 picks in the second leg. Third leg, also the same thing. But the 4th and final, I'm spreading out just a little bit more with my top 3 picks.
I'm going to start with awesome brother Bill. That's that left arrow horse, has all that total pace advantage. The last race was a lot better than it looked with faster fractions at 7 furlongs than it did at 6 furlongs, and a good chance to build on that in the second start after a layoff. Big Bucks a lot. Charles, the 7 horse, went wire to wire in its last race, tied for the top last race speed figure, and those fractions were really fast. Guillermo, I guess, I don't know. Should be closing in this spot, Charles, with a lot of these other horses in here having some similar early speed. should be able to run down a couple of tired horses at the end. Camptown races, the 2-horse was a tough call for me over your 8, Golden Tone, but I do like the fact that it has an inside draw. And last time out, the 8-horse regressed. I too am going to do a pick 4. Hopefully, I don't lose the opening leg on this one. 157 over the 145. I'm going to go 310 there in race number 8, and then close it out with the 4, the 8, and the 9 in the nightcap or afternoon cap down there in Tampa. Race 7, Charles, 3 to go. Let's get going with this one.
6.5 furlongs is something else different again. 3 races in a row, something different. Claiming price of 12.5. Non-winners of 2 life. Purse is 19,000. This is for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
Race number 6, Christopher D'Souza, rewinding a little bit, likes that 3-horse to win, place, and then you have the end show. And he's going to put it together with the 1 and the 5 in race number 6. All right, Charles, as far as race number 7 is concerned, the 6.5 furlongs, profile of a winner. 8 races, so they don't do a whole lot of these. So far, stalkers have done good. 2 of the 8 horses got to the lead and didn't give it up. 3 of the 8 horses won from the rail. Calzone, do you prefer that, Charles, or do you prefer pizza?
I prefer pizza.
And then post positions 2 and 3, a little bit of discount. 4 and out, they've played kind of fair. So you want some speed on the inside, particularly if you ride the rail, Charles. But it looks like in this case, again, we have one that looks like it's a standout when the gates open.
Yeah, the 5, 84% chance. And yeah, that's how I see it. This is a really tough race. I had a hard time even with this one. This one's very, very fast. So I see this horse having the lead at the quarter pole. When it comes to simulation odds, they have, God, that's right on the money pretty much. The 5, slightly under 2-1, 5-1 morning line, not too bad. The 9 at slightly under 5-1, and we have 6-1 morning line.
Yeah, and the 3 overlays all have par plus scores. So there's your exact, the trifecta box, maybe 4, 5, and 9, although those 3 likely to be some of the favorites amongst the bettors. Mr. Chili Willie in here, Charles, our good friend Willie Martinez. That horse must be named after him. Look at that, C-Zone, top horse on the lead, one of the better par plus scores. I know he's a big underdog relative to Group Hug, but we've seen these horses win more than their fair share of races. We looked about Mr. Chili Willie needing that lead. He is one of the front runners in here in a race that is really tilted more towards horses that want to pressure or close. So far, the 3-horse Moonstrike has not finished within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line. So maybe you can X that one out, turn a 9-horse field into an 8-horse field. Early on, the horse, Mr. Chili Willie, 6 points clear of the next closest horse, Joyful Ghost, which is on the outside. Alberato also on the outside. So 5-horse should be able to make it around all the other horses to get to the front there, Charles. In addition to having some of the most early speed, also has the most late speed. Again, another one of those horses that you might not be able to pass because you can't catch it. And then as far as your total pace is concerned, does have a 7-point lead over Joyful Ghost. That's about a length and a quarter. So if pace plays, and they say pace makes the race. That's what our good friend Chris Parmalu says. The 5-horse should get on the lead, has enough late speed to stay there, and could win this race going wire to wire, Charles. I think it's its ticket to the winner's circle. And my computer screen doesn't want to work right now. So what do you think?
Okay, yeah. If you guys look back on my pick 6, I had some race, and this was the only race I thought I even had a shot at singling, which was I put the 4 on top, and I am definitely scared of the 5 here. But the 4 is my top choice. Ran second last time out. Well bet. Drops in class. That's probably that's the biggest key to this horse in this race. That the big drop, and second start after a layoff, trainer gets 16%. This horse will be flying at that 5 at the end. The 5 will have the lead, which is my second choice. Hot jockey the last 7 days. Trainer gets 22% first after the claim. And this is another one that was 6 for 7 lifetime on the board. And if Rich is still with us, he should be opening up his wallet on this one also to claim. Because, they haven't even tried this one on turf, and this one's definitely bred to like that grass. Then the 6 is my third choice. one last time out. Hot Trainer last 14 days will be closing. And then the 7 horse ran even last time out. Trainer gets 18% with 90 plus days of rest. Totally fits with this group. And that's what I got going on here. And I think we've lost Rich. He's not coming back. That's okay. Who needs Rich anyway? If everybody look back on my, like I said, my pick 6, I did single that 4 in this race. On my pick 4, I took my top 2 picks, the 4 and the 5. And then I guess we'll just move on to race 8. I guess we'll move on here to keep this moving along. Race 8. This one is a mile and 40 yards, maiden claiming of 16,000. Purse is 20,000. This is for maidens, 2-year-olds. And hang on a second, Rich is he said his computer froze. He's restarting, trying to enter. So we'll see if he rejoins us in a second. Anyway, so the 8th race is for 2-year-olds, maiden claiming of 16,000, going a mile and 40 yards. Which he has all the charts up on his screen. I can't push them forward, but I could tell you, I have them over here on my other computer. It looks like the 1 has a 36% chance of having the lead at the quarter pole on this race. And in my opinion, probably so. I personally think the 10 might go to the lead also. It's right now at a 7% chance, but watch out for that 10 on the lead in this race in the 7th. I mean the 8th, excuse me. So we'll see how that turns out. When it comes to simulation odds, we have the, let's see, he's saying hold. All right. He says it might take another minute or so. Anyway, simulation odds in the 8th race, what we have is, do we have anything? I don't think so. Oh, we got the 10 at basically even money, and we have 4-1 morning line on that 10, which makes it very interesting. So let's go to the 8th race. Unfortunately, you guys can't see any of these things, so that's too bad. On our other charts, we have the 10. We have no EP horse, but we do have a pace horse, the 10, and everybody else is in that closing or never close category. But remember, these are 16,000 2-year-olds, so which makes it a little difficult to have some talent in there. But it looks like speed-wise, it will be the 1 has the best shot of getting that lead with the 3 second and the 10 third, and the first who's going to get the lead. When it comes to closing, who has the best closing will be, well, it's kind of a tie. It's the 2 and the 9 at 74, and then we have the 10. So the 10, like I said, once again, is right in the thick of things, no matter if it's on the lead or closing. And then with overall points, we have the 10 with 155, and we have the 1 and the 8 at 147 each, with the 2 following right behind that at 146. So that makes that race very tight overall, which that's kind of how I saw it too. When we get to that race, we'll break that down a little bit better. He should be back by now. Let's see what he says. Still frozen. He's pretty much done, it looks like. So we'll move on with that 8th race. In that 8th race, I'll give you my picks. We can't show it on the screen, unfortunately, so I'll keep it slow here. The 3 is my top choice. This horse drops in class today. If you toss out that last race, makes this horse right in the thick of things. Second start after a layoff, trainer gets 20% with that angle. So it puts that 3 right there. The 2, this horse ran even last time. Hot jockey trainer combo, last 14 days. This horse was well bet last time. Will be closing. And so we'll see how that comes back, because the speed here is not a lot of speed in here. Then who I think is the speed is the 10. This horse ran second last time out. And you got a hot jockey last 7 days. So let's see how that works out. And then my final pick in the 8th race is the 9. Ran third last time out. Has some of that tactical speed. Totally fits with this group. So, but it's another one of those kind of wide open race because it's maiden. You know what I mean? So I like 3, 2, 10, 9. In my pick 4, I took the 2 and the 3 both. So we'll see how it goes there.
Looks like we got no idea what the hell just happened.
All right. Well, I just
walked. The computer just completely froze up on me. I'm like, what in the heck? I think it was.
I just walked them through race 8 right now. So.
All right. So let me go ahead and give my picks for race number 8 then, real quick.
Well, you want to give yours for 7 real quick.
All right. For race number 7, my picks for race number 7, Charles, are. Let's go back to race 7. What the hell's going on here? Everything. I don't know how. What? I have no idea what you. I was just there. I could hear you, but nothing was working. It was the craziest thing. So I have the 5 horse in race number 7 as my top pick in there. Let me pull up my. This is fun. All my notes are gone, so I don't have any idea why I picked the 5 horse, Charles. I have 5, 4, 1, and 9. That's what I have. All
That's
right?
okay. So, and like I said, I just finished race 8 right now. So
on race 8, I have the 10 and the 3 with the 2 and the 9.
There it is.
I don't. Let's see if I pull up Word if it has saved the file or not. I doubt it did. Let's see. Sometimes it'll save one if you didn't save it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, so let's go off to race number 10 on this otherwise.
Race 9.
So race 9. So Brisnet is not available in here either, Charles. So
that's okay.
Yeah, I have no idea what is going on, but you can see what's going on in race 9.
Yes, I can
Charles.
see on my side. Mm-hmm. Race 9 is 7 furlongs, claiming price of 8,000, non-winners of 3 life. Purse is 18,000. This is for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races. Pretty simple.
Yeah, and I can't tell you what the bias or anything is, Charles. So what I can tell you is in race number 9, I guess I should print out my notes. In race number 9, Charles.
Yeah, well,
we did some simulations, my friend.
That's okay.
The horse is going to win.
Yeah, well, we got who's going to get the lead, which is the 8 at 48% chance, but the 10 might have a say in that, which I do believe. But you know what? There's one scary horse, in my opinion, is that 4. Watch out for that 4 on the lead. That 4 has a heck of a shot at getting that lead too. But right now they're saying the 8, and I believe the 8 has the best shot. But watch out for the 4.
I do have my notes back there, Charles. So
okay.
I can run by. In Mr. Chile, 5 straight seconds in that one. Group hug going to drop in the class in race number 7. Calzone just can't pass on the rail. That's 1, 3 out of 8. 3 works prepping. 2 of them were really good. Great. Joyful Ghost did run the top last race speed figure, and losing a half a furlong I think is going to help today. In race number 8, I like the 10 horse. Sky Lane does have a 10 points. We didn't get to see this here, but does have a 10-point top total pace in that horse race. Is the only one over here. Everybody else so far really struggled to get anywhere near the winner's circle. 2 would be a closer. Spanish Pharaoh is my second choice in that one. It's the lone maiden special weight dropper. Probably why you put it on top there, Charles. Decently bet in all 3 races. The 2 horse, 3 White Soldiers. Last race was a little better than it looks. Same fractions at a mile 40 as it did at a buck. And then My Noble Knight could have the most upside in the second start. Maintenance works between races. Should keep the Shaw sharp. Anyway, not only is my computer frozen, so is my brain. And then here we go, Charles. Back to what's going on in race number 9.
Yeah, I just finished giving the simulation now. Now the simulation odds. We have the 4 slightly over 2-1. We have 3.5-1 morning line. Um, hmm. We have the 8 at just under 9-1. We have 15-1 morning line. That's not a bad overlay. So we got a couple there.
Mm-hmm. And then as far as the race shape is concerned for the last race of the day, pretty tightly packed. But again, most of them, if you look here, are a little bit to the right. So a heavily balanced or weighted towards the closer types. So speed, the 7, 8, and 12, maybe even the 10 if they can get out front. Probably got a pretty good shot to take this field. 8, Chrome Impulse, the 8 horse in here. That one has a 7-point early race advantage over the rest of the field, Charles. So it should be about a length and a quarter in front of everybody. But I mean, minus the 5 horse, everybody's got some shot if they want to get to the front there, Charles. Our late speed, if that's your thing, Heston, Charleston. But again, pretty competitive in here. Only the 7 and the 2, not in the same zip code. Finally, our total pace in this race. A lot of them in here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 within the 10-point zone, and then 5 of them within 6 points. So pretty competitive race to close out the card there, Charles. And you're going to go with the long shot on top.
Yeah. This race, tough race. I'm going with the 1 on top. You got to toss out that last race. Does have some tactical speed to sit very close to these horses. Drops in class. Trainer gets 15% when he drops them down 2+ levels. So there's a lot of positives with this horse. Is a price. So I guess this would be my price horse of the day, but I'm not super thrilled about it because I think this whole race is wide open. The 7 here is my second choice. Tactical speed, cuts back in distance today.
And that's Charles' life motto right there, my way or no way.
That's right. It's got to be. Drops in class, second start after a layoff. A lot of good things to like about that one. The 4, one last time out. This horse does have some speed. I'm telling you, watch out. This horse does move up, but like I always say, if you win last time out, you have the rights to move up in my book. The 10 is my final choice. Ran even last 2 times. Drops in class. Trainer gets 11% with 46+ days of rest. Will be closing at the end. If you go back onto my pick 6, I took all 4 horses, and if you my pick 4, I took the top 3 horses.
So there's Charles' pick 6 again, in case you're wondering. So you might screenshot that. Of course, I'll put the times in and the description a little bit after we hang up here so that you can go back race by race and take a look at it. So if you want to look at Charles' pick 6, just come back to race number 4. I'm going to go with the 4 horse as my winner in the final race in there, Grand Rock. This one should be in a great stalking position. It's where it wants to be. It's the type of horse that typically wins. Does have that top par plus score in there, Charles. 31% chance to run over par. And a very strong C-zone score. Going to get the right trip, I feel like. Mean tweets. Yeah, can't be president if you're going to do mean tweets, Charles.
Apparently
does have a very strong C-zone score in there coming off the top last race speed figure. Going to catch a weight break today relative to its last race. So there should be some room for continued improvement. Last time out, the horse, all of its race internals were better from beginning to end. Number 8, Chrome Plus. I feel like this one might have too much of an early speed advantage over the rest of the horses in here, Charles, and did great out even with that early speed as the top total pace horse in there. And then finally, well played, Charles. My computer well played me today. This one, not really, but it's just another one of these horses that's going to ship in from Zenobia. It does have some very strong workouts, so maybe there is a connection between the Canadian track, probably nowhere near an ocean, and the Tampa Bay Downs training facilities. Been on the backside there. And also, if you notice, the 12 is the lone EP. Anytime you get a lone EP, got to keep an eye on that horse. And if it gives you any inclination that it might do all right, you might want to bet that one. Trifecta for me, 4-9-8 over the 4-9 over the 4-6-8-9 in 10. In what has been a disruptive day, Charles, in terms of our show today. I have no idea. I think what might have happened was my computer was updating on its own. And I hate when it does that. Does anybody know how to stop that from happening? I know you
Yeah, I
can
was gonna say,
schedule
can't
it.
you have it like a if you? No, you shouldn't do it on a Zoom.
When I set it up, it gave you like an option somewhere along the line, like when to do updates, and I told it to do it at night, right? And obviously, much like other things in my life, it doesn't listen. Here are our full picks, Charles, for the day. Race number 1, I think the 4-horse one, if I remember correctly. I don't know. No, the 2-horse one. One we didn't have. I think it was the 2-horse. The 4-horse won the second race, Charles. We both had the Superfecta in our picks, but you had the 4 in your pick 4. I did not. Race 3, it looks like they're about to get started in just a minute here, Charles. They're finding their way to the gates again. So we'll stick around for that one. Right now, the 5-horse is your favorite, Soler. The 8-horse, Ideal Breeze, is the second choice in there. Charles, liking it twisted, is the third choice. And then after that, looks like the 4-horse is next. I don't know, the 6-horse. Wait a second, is in there too, Charles. So
Yep.
a few of them. Again, tonight, guaranteed tip sheet, free track of the day, link down in the description below. If you feel it in your want to help the show a little bit, one of the ways you can do that is to head to horseracingtoday.net, hit the HRT gear, get yourself a See You in the Winner Circle t-shirt. Charles, any thoughts from you or observations for what we've seen so far? You and I will be back tomorrow for Gulfstream Park. That will go off about 10 minutes before post. So the best way to make sure that you can catch everything we do is to hit the like button while you're on, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of the social sites at Horse Race, the number 2 day. You see that down there scrolling, Charles. Anything that I missed in that regard?
No, that's about it. Tonight, I should say, college football. I like Louisville over SC.
Now, we did say that you would have a basketball pick.
And there's only 2 games that get to choose from, right? Thanks. But I will
pick one then.
I know I
don't want to hear any whining or crying.
Everything on the line. Everything's out there on Virginia tonight.
Virginia tonight. What's the line on that game, Charles?
Like 20 something.
They're favored by
26.
Well, we had on Bill Krakenberg from a great show called Action. If you can watch that on like a Showtime on demand, go look at that. He was on the show with Sean and I a couple times. Big better. And he had mentioned that one of his favorite things to do is college basketball first half.
That's the best.
Yeah, so make sure you take a look at college basketball first half on Virginia. Said a lot of times the free throws screw things up in the second half. So maybe you might want to take a look at that.
Yeah, they got to do a little revenge. They got beat last time out, and they're playing Morgan State. And Morgan State doesn't have the gas to go with them. Let's put that away. So I believe Virginia will cover that 26, no problem.
All right, and then I want to say a quick shout out to thank for Philip Perkins, Jayava Sharma, Derek Hayward, Melvin Torres. Hey, Melvin, good to see you. Matthew Wallace for giving us a thumbs up on Facebook. We would tell you who did it on YouTube, but YouTube doesn't share that information with us. All right, so race number 3, Charles. They're all loaded up, about ready to go. Looks like we're waiting. There they go. The gates are open, and the horses are out the door in race number 3. As expected, Ideal Breeze, Charles, got to the lead, but the 2-horse, like expected, is keeping him to task, my friend. The 4-horse is about, a length and a half, 2 lengths behind, and third to its outside is the 5-horse. Soler, the favorite, the 1-horse on the rail, and the 6-horse, the Zenobia horse that had those good workouts. So far, it's not translating to the track. The 2 and the 8 continue to set the tone there, Charles. Here comes that 6-horse. He's going to have to go in between. He's going wide, Mr. Charles. The 2 and the 8 continue to slug it out. 4-horse is trying to make its move. That 6-horse, the Zenobia, the Canadian Snowbird. I know everybody down in Florida just loves the Canadian Snowbirds. They show up every winter.
Same thing with Arizona.
Yes, indeed. But the 2-horse has taken control of this race, Mr. Charles. The 1-horse, though, is trying. Here comes the 4-horse, Charles. Something neither one of us have. Somebody else mentioned they have the 4-horse. I think it was Christopher D'Souza. It's going to go 2, 4, and 6. 2, 4, and 6. Charles, that's the way it goes in race number 3. So did you have the 2-horse in your pick
I
four?
I did not have my pick 4. No,
Unfortunate. So
it was a small
2, 4, and
pick.
6. Let's take a look at Christopher D'Souza. The 2-horse went off at 3-1. And then Christopher D'Souza in race number 3. Let's go back and see what he had in race number 3. 2, 4, and 7. So he had the exacta in there. Charles, congratulations, Christopher. That 4-horse going off at 6-1. So should get a pretty decent one. Again, here are our full picks for the day. Kind of struggling to find winners on top. So hopefully the second half of the card is more kind to us than the first half of the card. Charles, Tampa Bay is always a challenge for me anyway, I had to be honest with you. What is your final thoughts for today?
That's about it.
What are your final thoughts for today?
I already gave you my picks for football and basketball. And then remember, in January 8th, the sale in Kentucky here. So anybody interested in going, buying, or even have questions, hit me up on my email there. So that's it. That's all I got.
Yes, indeed. Well, sorry about my disruption today, folks. That's kind of unusual. My computer decided to do its own thing. The horses are doing their own thing. Whatever it is your thing today, we certainly hope that you have God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing that you do, it doesn't get disrupted by your computer, but ends up in
the winner circle.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for joining us today. Charles and I look forward to getting at it at Gulfstream tomorrow. Have a great Wednesday.